Alright, welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Okay, so I had scheduled maybe a short brief meeting here with a Vita guy. Let me see. I am here now. Let me see. So if we go in here, yeah. I can confirm that I added this. What does this mean? I can confirm. Copy link. Managed. Yes, I saw that. I saw that one, but I was not sure about the implications of that thing, because managed is more encompassing. Managed covers more than just the bit test thingy. Bit testing macro. Can you check if it is safe to use managed? Huh. Hello, Mr. Vitex. Nice to meet you. Okay, let me raise the volume here maybe a bit. Yeah, I just raising my volume. Okay, good. Okay, so we had already like the discussion in the GitHub, so we have some ideas, right? So I'm not really sold on the input that I've seen there with the like condensed file and then just a title, right? Title and maybe some keyword, but yeah, I'm not sold on this because it like we have to view it from the user perspective, like what do we want to show the user, right? Because it's for the user, it's not for us, this changelog, because we look at the commit history, right? This is our changelog, but it's for the user, and the user, most users probably just stay okay with some notes, some concise information, right? But maybe there will be some users who want to review certain changes. Like, for example, it's happening right now. Some of the expert players around Dominator and Maraca and so on, they review the controversial changes that have been added to the current version of the patch. And they check if these things make sense or not. And to do that, they need to fully understand what was changed. If we just had like a title, like changed change damage output of Scorpion Tank, let's say, right? That would be the change title. Then yeah, it's a concise title, but there's no information as to what is actually going on here, right? It doesn't make any details about like, okay, well, how does it, like what values exactly would change? How does it relate to other things? What was the reason to touch that thing, right? You know, the bigger picture to explain why is this happening. And like, if we don't provide this information, then yeah, we will have some very poor changelog entries, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if we just have rich change logs, which just have like all the important information, then you can generate different views, right? You can generate a simple version of a change log. You can generate a more detailed version. You can generate a web page out of it, a markdown file, a plain text file, any format, right? So I think the only thing we need to nail right now is the source format for the change log, and we have a reference for this. And what we generate, this can always change. You can generate this and that, right? So what I currently generate for patch is only these markdown files in several different views. Let me share here my screen in case you haven't seen. How do I share my screen? Here, share and screen, and there we go. Go live. Good. So let me move this here away. Oof. Oof. Okay. I don't know what this is here. So if we go to GitHub, here. So basically, what we currently generate here, let me make this larger so you can see it. Change logs, and then I just put an arbitrary version number here, and then all changes sorted by date, all changes sorted by severity, controversial changes sorted by faction, USA changes sorted by date, China, GLA, art changes. But you can do anything, right? You could also have an interactive web page where you say, okay, here everything is in there, but then I can click like the filters in and out, right? I can have like a button to sort up and down by date or by labels or factions or so on, right? And so you can generate anything with it. So we just need to have like a good source format. And I mean, whether we generate this or something else, it doesn't really matter, right? Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's a question I would have asked you because I don't know either, but maybe there's a way to do this. Yeah, so I mean, we can maybe just talk about functionality, not like implementation details, right? So functionality, I agree, it would be nice if, let's say, you open the pull request and then there is some action or some way or some syntax or some preset syntax, and then you just fill out a little bit, and then it would generate the changelog on submit or on merge, or Yeah. So the common touch ups on change logs so far with what we have here. So we did all by hand, right? This is all manual created, right? Which is cumbersome in the way that you have to remember doing this. But if you know what you're doing, it's easy, right? If you don't know, then it's difficult because you don't know. If you didn't read the documentation as to how to contribute on the front page, if you didn't read that, you don't know, and most people don't read that, right? So, but if it was like very visible in the pull request, it would help. And so there are two ways. There's three ways a change log would be interacted with. The first one is not create a change log at all because we don't need it for that particular change because it just changed developer documentation or something like that, right? Then we don't care. The second is creating a new changelog entry, right, for a change. So because we touched something that has not been touched in this particular release yet, it's touched the first time, right? Like I don't know, crash fix, right? First time. And then the third case is modifying a a change log entry, right? So let's say our first fix didn't quite work, yeah. It only fixed the half of the problem, and then we make a second pull request and say, okay, now we really fix it, and then I want to update that change log record. I don't want to create a new one because we don't want to have two entries that address the same problem, right? We just want one, right? And then so hmm, 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 hmm. Yeah, so there are two things. So the first one is like creating a new file, and that's probably more straightforward, right? Because we just add something new and it's easy, right? But modifying something existing is probably more complicated, I would imagine. So maybe if we focus, yeah, yeah, modifying is probably more involved, more complicated, right? So I would say first focus on creating the new thing, right? And that's the most common case. Like modifying is less common. It happens, but it's less common. So creating a fresh one. So and uh, then there's a question like, okay, at which time should it be created? Should it be created on submit? Or can we maybe make it so that like there is an action and you can click this button with a template here with a form, and then it creates automatically a new commit on top of your change in the branch. Is would it perhaps be possible to do it that it already happens before we merge? Because then the advantage of that would be that we can review this changelog entry before it is merged, right? Which mm, 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 mm. Yeah. So I mean, if someone creates a pull request, they they already have to put in some work to describe the fix anyway, right? And you typically see this. Same when if someone opens an issue report, you also need to put some effort to describe the issue. If you open pull request, you put some effort to describe what you actually fixed there, right? And so maybe this describing the fix in the pull and generating the changelog, maybe this can be combined into one thing, right? So that the way you describe it in the pull request automatically becomes your changelog entry. It's a formatting. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Mm. Maybe the labels can also be taken from the pull request as a default. Is that possible? So let's say, yeah. So I open the pull request and I add my labels, and then if I go to the that's a good that's a good question. Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I think what I've seen often is that people pick the wrong labels for things. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe, well, I mean, they don't have to add the changelog entry immediately. If we give the option that this can be done like at a later stage, then and after someone added the labels for them, then they can just add this later. Yeah, before merging. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so like I push my change, I open the pull request and I just let it sit there, and then I visit it 5 hours later, and then I can still add the change log entry, right? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm. You think there will be any complication to update existing file? No, I mean like yeah, I just mean implementation wise. So basically, you would need to pass in the YAML, and then you would need to write out with modifications, right? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, what we typically do here for, let me open a new folder. Uh, project. No. Design changes. So let me just pick something random. No. Nope. Yeah, so there will be some changes, like let's pretend, so there will be some changes which have like multiple links, right? Like this, right? Because then there will be multiple iterations on this thing. And what also sometimes happens is that maybe some label was incorrectly put, right? Or maybe there's a typo in here, or like incorrect number, some error, right? So it happens that this is retouched. I would say that touching a YAML even after release for fixing like formatting errors or something like this is still okay, but not like content. So you shouldn't like make changes that were not in the release. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then like what we could do is if we make a release, then we could say, okay, we merge all the YAML files into like one big one like this. So with 3 dots, you can like separate this. The advantage of this is that over time you get less files, which makes the parsing a bit faster, right? Because like if you read like different files, it just puts more pressure on the file system than one file, right? So, but yeah, it's not a big concern. Like this one, for example, this one has 999 files in here, and they parse really fast. So I guess it becomes a problem when you have tens of thousands, probably. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. No, no, a changelog entry should be added with the change that refers to this changelog entry so that you can actually review it as you review the change. So I see the C++ code and I see the changelog entry. Does the stuff match, right? And not a separate change. Well, I thought that this is what we talked about earlier with a template that you can create on the pull request. So I mean, so from my perspective, I can say that I have no problems with creating the YAML files by hand because I just make a copy of an existing one, yeah, and then I fill in, replace, and done, right? Easy. Uh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so for me it's not a problem, but for like users who haven't been submitting many of these, they might not be aware about this, and for them it might be helpful to have like an action that helps them do this, right? Because then they don't need to study how this actually works under the hood, maybe. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, that's a bit that's a bit tough. So I can only say from my perspective, the format we currently have is totally fine for what we use. I haven't found any limitation with this yet, and we have created thousands of changes. Now, obviously, we haven't made code changes with this, so that's another story. There's also here it does support also sub changes, so there's that. And so basically, the idea is that here on changes you put like the big changes if there are multiple big ones, and then on sub changes you can put like smaller changes that are like a subset of the bigger changes if there is such a desire, right? And then you can pass it as you please, right? It's just like an additional freedom, like, yeah. The links are to the pull. Yeah, it's to the pull request because the pull request will contain like information that is relevant for developer and user, right? So if you look at this, you see like there's additional text, right? And there's like a table with stats and, so there's like more information on this thing, right? So then people can look at this and study this, and like sometimes there are screenshots and videos, right? So it gives like a richer look onto what this change is about. And then obviously you can also look into the files change tab, and there you see like, okay, what exactly has changed in the ini files here in this case, right? So I think that's good. That's better than if you would link. Hmm? You mean in here? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I have seen that other changelogs that they link to commit hashes. I'm not really sure why they do this, because commit, what is the use of the commit for the average visitor? Like if I look at so this is a commit, right? This. So, okay, then you see the file that was touched, but you don't see, you don't see the text write up, which I think is more valuable than just looking at this thing, right? Yeah, yeah. So like I mean, you can go to the pull request number by clicking this or this here, right? So you can visit it from here, but why not just go to this straight away, right? Yeah. So I have always linked to this, and yeah, which is more relevant for the average user, I would say, when like here is a lot of information, right? Yes. Yeah, I don't know if developers really need a changelog, but yeah, for the users, we do need something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But basically, like if you go here to pull requests, right, and then closed ones, then you can also see like, okay, which ones have been merged. You can also filter here, is merged, right? And then you can see, okay, what was merged latest. This is typically how developers would check what went in, right? Mm. Right, right, right. Right, yeah, we don't add, right, yeah. You could have a label, or we could have milestones for things and put them into milestones. Yeah, this is something that the community outpost guys wanted to take care of. I don't do this. Yeah. I don't have any objections to your plans. No, I'm totally fine with whatever you're doing. Yeah, I think it. Mhm. Yeah. So General Camo, he always advocated for the base station, right? Let me see, base station 12, right? GitHub here. Okay, so how does it work here then? Pull request. Ah, this here, yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, so they uh-huh. Okay, so they write the changelog in here. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, this looks like very simple, but the So the disadvantage with this one is you cannot review the file that was generated, right? Before submitting, right? Yeah. So and then yeah, I understand what's happening here. It makes sense, but it's kind of limited. Also, they don't put. There's not much information here, right? It's just like really concise title. That's it. Yeah, and then so where do we see the changelog then? Ah, yeah. All changelog. Right. Okay. Yeah, this is really is hard to follow. Yeah. Yeah. Like who's gonna use this thing? Let me see. Auto changelog. And they also only have one view. Or is this being passed somewhere else then? Like what is happening with this changelog? Do we know? Do we know what this is used for then? I wonder. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, do they take this changelog and actually do something with it, like, or do they, or it's just here and then they package it with their release as is, right? Okay, so they do passes and generate the HTML out of this one. Okay. And so then they go by dates or something like that, I assume. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this here. It looks messy, hard. Yeah. Okay. I somehow don't see it. Hold on. Now I see. Your video is still not updating, so we couldn't see. Yeah. So, yeah. Let me ask you a question. So what I'm seeing right now is the text, the pure text. Yeah. If you click on preview, do you see like checkboxes? Ah, okay. And then you can click the checkbox, right? Oh, you can. Ah. Yeah. So, yeah. Is it possible to have any kind of UI in there? Okay. So you can only do pure text stuff, yeah. Okay. Then would it perhaps make sense to generate, like have a section which looks awfully similar to the final YAML file that is being created then from it? Yeah, like in place YAML and then use that to create it with, I don't know. Yeah. S- So how do so when you create pull requests, then does it already generate anything or not? Okay, so you say it is possible that you could type something into some description into the pull request text, and then there is an action, and you click it, and then it generates something. Yeah. Yeah. I think ideally it would be on demand, like, because then it's also easy to opt out, right? So if I say I don't use this template, I just do it by hand, then I can do that, right? Or I don't need a change log at all, then I don't put one, right? How do I leave the screen here now? Oh, Jesus. Ah, there we go. Okay. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. I think for now, our only focus needs to be agree on the format, what is in there, and then in the YAML, and then agree on how we generate this with a pull request, right? We don't need to worry right now about what kind of views we generate out of it. That we don't care. There was one thing that I was thinking about, and that is, do we perhaps need some information uh, like I don't know, some, let's call it, uh, I don't know, replicated, and then I don't know how to type it, and then is it replicated on generals or 0 hour, right? Like, so basically what we will end up having is we will have code changes that go into 0 hour, right? But not into generals. And then maybe it would be useful to know, okay, we have this change, it's in 0 hour, it's a crash fix, and someone sees it, sees, oh, it's not replicated in generals, but I would like to have it. And then I go ahead, look this change up, I see it's not replicated, let me do that, right? And then that can be ticked off. Now it's replicated in generals and in 0 hour or something like this, right? Maybe this would be useful. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I guess then maybe then what we can agree on is we say, okay, if it is like put a label like build, right, or dev only, right, something like this, and then when we generate views, we just exclude this label, and then it's not in the user-facing view, right? That always works. Yeah, from my perspective, I don't mind not recording any change logs for change log entries for the CMake stuff and yeah, all this stuff. If someone likes to do it, I won't interfere. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary. What is most important is a change log for the user. Yeah. Good. Anything else? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I think changelog is not a hot topic, right? Yeah. Until the point where the release happens and everyone wants to see the changelog, then it's a big topic. Yeah. This, for example, is a topic now for the official EA release because they didn't release a changelog for it, right? So people ask, hey, where's the changelog, right? Yeah. Yeah, having a good changelog, there's big value in this. Yeah. Good. Good. Well, it was nice talking to you. Then I wish you best of success. Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was a quick meeting. Well, 50 minutes meeting. Okay, good. Then how about How about we get back to some actual work? Let's see. No need for bit set. Sorry, the tool is Borken. Game by itself works though. That's okay. Debug, okay. I checked the. Okay, let me see that. Yeah. Good. Let's keep it as is. Okay, resolve. The notice. Okay, resolve. Then now we want to keep. Okay, resolve. Good. And another resolve. Right. Here. Okay. Let me make this smaller again. Good. So, Dev Genius Code, aka QEL, has suggested to add a managed. I have seen that as well, but I was reluctant to do that. Let's look at it again. Managed. Managed. Where is it? No. Managed. Let's go to WinNT. WinNT.h. WinNT. Huh? Huh? We don't see WinNT. Well, that's not good. WinNT.h. Man, well, let's search for bitset. How about that? Bit test, I mean. Aha, this we see. Okay, so we see a bit test, but we don't see WinNT.h. Make it make sense. Typical Microsoft. Yeah. Good. Okay, let's search for managed if this program allows us to. Oh my gosh, this is slow. Okay, if not defined managed. If not defined managed. Yeah, okay, so here this is above the bit test. And if, and then here we have another, if not defined managed. Aha, then we lose those interlocked thingies. If not defined managed, interlocked. Interlocked. Oh, hold on. Okay, so we lose the interlocked functions. We would lose the pause. We would lose some functions. Yeah, if not managed, get fiber data. Yeah, so we would lose access to some things. Interlocked bit test, yeah. The question is, do we care? Because we don't really care about these kind of functions because we would use standard compliant ones, right? Let's see if this managed words, where it shows up. If in dev managed. It also shows up in WinBase. Interlocked increment. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it mostly concerns the interlock functions. And the pause. But these all seem to be very platform specific, yeah. But you have some more here. If dev managed, then we also lose ATL thunk, whatever that is. Managed. Let me run a Google search on this managed thing. Defined to be 1 when CLR is specified. What is that? Let me open Visual Studio Code. It's not found. Managed. Accessing a managed type from unmanaged code. Okay. Managed. Defined as 1 when CLR compiler option set, otherwise undefined. Okay, and what is this doing? Common language runtime. Enables applications and components to use features from the common language runtime, CLR, and enables C++ CLI compilation. Arguments. Managed code is code that can be inspected and managed by the CLR. Managed code can access managed objects. For more information, see CLR restrictions. Managed. Defined as 1. Defined as 1. Let's look at it once more. Yeah. I mean, it's get fiber data. Yeah. Yeah, so it means we won't have the interlocked functions. Should this work for managed code? I'm just a bit worried, like, what if we set this thing and then in a future release, it does something that we don't want? Yeah. Where's the comments? Yeah, yeah. It's the managed mostly compiles out the interlocked functions. Does not look dangerous, but this is not the intended. But it is unclear if this could have consequences anywhere now or in the future. Because the managed thing is there for a particular reason in regards to managed code like C#. In regards to interacting with managed code like C#. How this stuff works, what exactly this does, I do not know. Also compiles out the interlocked functions. Does not look dangerous, but it is unclear if this could have consequences anywhere now or in the future, because the managed is there for particular reason in regards to interacting with managed code like C#. What exactly this does, I do not know. Let's also ask our friend ChatGPT. Is there what is the reason one would define managed before including the Windows header? Let's see. It's typically done when compiling C++ CLI. The managed macro is used by Microsoft headers to adjust declarations for managed code compatibility. Reasons for defining managed. Avoids conflict with native Windows API. Some Windows headers define constructs that are incompatible with managed code. Defining a managed ensures that only safe, compatible definitions are included. When managed is defined, Windows H disables part of the API that are unsafe or unnecessary for managed code. Certain macros and inline functions that rely on raw pointers or direct memory access are omitted. It prevents the use of non.NET compliant features, reducing compiler errors related to safe constructs. Yeah. Define managed. Yeah. Is there any detriment in defining this even if we do not care about managed code, but want to get rid of one of the macros guarded behind, or one of the macros inside managed, or let's say guarded by managed. Is there any detriment in defining this, even if we do not care about managed code, but just want to get rid of one of the macros guarded by managed? Let's see. Yes, defining managed when you are not actually using managed code can have unintended side effects, as it alters how Windows headers behave. Here are some potential drawbacks. Exclusion of certain Windows API features. Omit or modify certain declarations. For example, some macros, inline functions, and direct memory manipulation functions may not be available. If you later need those omitted features, you might run into missing definitions or linker errors. Compatibility issues with other code. If you include third-party libraries or other system headers that expect normal native Windows API behavior, defining managed might lead to unexpected compilation errors. Oof. Some headers could check for managed and adjust their own behavior, potentially breaking assumptions in your code. Oof. Potential debugging complications. If debugging system calls or interacting with native APIs, defining managed might make it harder to trace issues because certain APIs might behave differently. Possible impact on performance. While unlikely, causes some inline functions to be omitted in favor of alternatives. Yeah, I don't think so. If your goal is to suppress specific macro by managed, consider these instead. Yeah, we tried that. Yeah. If a particular macro is being guarded by managed, check the Windows headers for another way to disable it. Sometimes there are more specific feature macros. If you're not using managed code, defining managed just to suppress macro is not recommended. Okay. Due to potential side effect. That's also my hunch, yeah. Like, we don't know what would happen in the future eventually, and it could be a pain later down the line. Yeah. 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 Okay, let me say I also asked ChatGPT, and that also answered vary about touching, about defining, also raised caution about defining this macro to avoid macro spill. Mostly compiles out the interlock functions, does not look dangerous. No. Yeah. So my hunch here is to not define managed. Yeah. 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 Good. Good. Let's get back to our actual problems. So last session we did a little bit of running here with running into address sanitizer hits, right? Maybe we can continue with this a little bit. Exactly, here. Invalid memory access. Okay, let's take a look at this guy. String to copy. What is the problem? ly. Num chars allocated 3e str to copy. What is the problem? Do these before releasing the old buffer so that self copies or self cats will work correctly. What? Okay, what is this problem? Let me create a copy of this guy. Notepad. So we are looking at, let's look at the, here. Unknown crash. Unknown. Oh, that's not very promising. Unknown crash. How? How? Oof. Oh, that's not helpful. String to copy, ly. ly, string to copy, new data. Why don't we see the Unicode string, by the way? Unicode string data. Bleh. Jesus Christ. What do they do here? Huh? What? Why? Ensure unique buffer of size. Ensure unique buffer of size. Can we check this implementation in Sime? Because there things worked. Visual Studio 2022. So now we're checking Thyme as reference for the real game. Yeah. How about that? But the function is recalled, renamed UTF-16 ensure. There we go. Okay, let's see. It looks very similar. USTR copy peak. Yeah, let me see. Ref count. Num chars allocated. Actual bytes. That looks. M data is mdata not null, and preserve data, data peak. This is different here. Here it says mdata peak, and here it says peak. Interesting. Huh. So this is wrong, isn't it? It's probably the same. This peak probably just calls this one here. New data peak equals, yeah, it's the same. New data peak str to copy, str to cat. Release buffer, validate. Okay, it looks very similar to what we have here. User clicks, subscribe, determine publisher type, unverified publisher, show, confirm, do not load, verified publisher, unverified publisher. I'm okay with this unverified publisher or verified publisher thingy, but it also needs to be user configured. Yeah. Heavy against it. The launcher is meant to be open source. There's no way anyone can ship a version with no centralized authoritative code in there. If you want, if a trusted publisher feature is desired, then I suggest to simply make that another importable, where a user can subscribe to such a verified list. verified, discovery lists. Basically, but it cannot be tied to the launcher itself. Everything is opt-in. Yeah. Good. I don't know what's going on here with this buffer thingy. It's really not obvious. String to copy. Let me see. Let's go in the core stack. Game text manager. Oof. Huh. Okay, so we are here. It's copying this one. How long is the string? The string is 38. 38 with null character. And then what happens? This has 33e, which is larger than 38. Yeah. So it has enough room. Yeah. Then what's the problem here? Oof. Oof. How about we run it with no optimization? I need water. All right. Good. So, invalid memory access. Okay, the string looks different now. Okay, because we have it unoptimized. Okay, so this is a string somewhere in the text section or code section, data section. 3e, yeah. We know that this string has good size. Why would this be a problem? I don't understand. Create game text interface, game text manager. Why would this be a problem? Shouldn't be a problem. How does this look in SIME? Looks fairly similar. The order is not quite the same. Jabberwocky. Failed. What is failed? Unicode string. Unicode string. failed Unicode string. Failed 0. Len +1. Unknown crash. Does this mean there's something wrong in this dynamic memory allocator? E actual bytes 80. Huh? Okay, 39 bytes are needed. Bytes, right? So it's 39 times 2. Okay. Core stack. Len. Okay, so this looks fine, right? We're getting the len. Okay. Ensure unique buffer of size, len +1. That also seems to be very reasonable. Yeah. Good. Then what happens? Data. Ref count. Well, 0. Okay, so it doesn't go in here. Min bytes. How about we put a breakpoint up here and we run it again? I wonder if this is the first Unicode string that is being allocated. Could be. That actually would be good to know. Yeah, it is the first. Okay. Okay, that's good. Not the second one. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Good, because gives me more confidence that we trigger here a real problem that is happening inside here, inside this function, and it's not like transpiring from somewhere else. But then ASIN would have triggered somewhere else, right? Okay, so num chars needed 39 times y char makes sense. Size of Unicode string data, that's probably like 4 bytes, right? Yeah, that's 4 bytes. So we're looking at 4 plus 39. 39 times 2 is 78 plus 78 plus 4. Let's put that into non-hex. So 57 times 2. We're looking at 118, right? 118 bytes. Yeah. Good. It's not larger than max len. Okay. Get actual bytes. Min bytes. And now it probably, let's see what it does. Find pool for size. Okay, it finds a pool. Yeah. 128. Okay, so it's rounding it up. 128. Okay, then we go in here. 128 bytes, please. Yeah. There's a scope critical section. Didn't have this. No, it didn't. Some assembly code. No. Good. So we get a pool and we allocate block do not zero. Yeah. Okay. That looks fine. Result. Okay. So we have an allocation. We didn't look into what it was actually doing though, but we get some results here. Numchars allocated 124. That's because the header is 4 bytes, right? Yeah. So the header 4 bytes, and then right afterwards comes this data, if I understand correctly. Yeah. Actual bytes minus Unicode string data divided by, huh? Ah. Right. Numchars allocated. That seems to be right. Numchars allocated. I'm actually surprised that it has number here already. I would have assumed it's just garbage for starters, right? Numchars allocated. 62. The len is 56. And we need 57. New data peak. One 62. Man. Peak. Return white char this +1. What? Huh? How's this here? This one. Reinterpret cast. Yeah, I think that's the same thing. Hmm. Right now, I'm not sure what's going on. I think the verified list should ship with the launcher, but it can be opt out, else we cannot protect users from abuse. It is fine when we ship it with presets. It's fine if we ship it with presets for community outposts and that managed list, that managed trusted list, but it should not be a requirement, and anyone would be able to redistribute the launcher with its own definitions. But in my opinion, it should not be a requirement that anyone would be able to redistribute the launcher with its own definitions to maintain its decentralized nature. Good. On the other hand, that managed trusted list can be abused. In the end, I think this is not necessary. Yes, the server is centralized. The matching server is centralized. Good. What is the problem here? It looks like everything is fine, but maybe I'm just missing it. Actual bytes, 128. It looks like we get enough bytes, 128. That string is 56 characters, including the null terminator. WCS copy. There's nothing wrong with this function. As long as this buffer is large enough to hold this guy, it's good. String to copy. If it ends on 0, it's all good. I don't get it. Do these before releasing the old buffer so that self copies or self cats will work correctly. Yeah. Something is wrong in here. But I'm not seeing it. Actual bytes, 128. 62. Allocate 62 bytes. Characters. 128. 62 characters in there. Num chars allocated. Allocate bytes. Let's go one more round. What was happening? Oh. Oh, we have the same error in ASCII string now. What the hell? Huh. Huh. Eh? The hell? Oh, okay. Pragma optimize of Pragma. There we go. Okay, this one worked just fine. So actual bytes, 128. Let's step in here. Blob, blob. Allocate single block. Block. Owning blob. First free block. Block. First free block, block. Get next. Yeah, block. This looks fine. Okay, so it has a number 0 and 124. Just these are just random numbers in there. Let's look at the memory. Copy value. Memory. Yeah, there's some pass. Huh. Okay, so 7C. 7C, that's much more than 124. Not sure what this is. Or is it not? Seven C. 7C. Oh, it is 124. Okay, well, never mind. Good. Let's look at the memory once more. Okay, so it basically there's just some old string here. Yeah, some previous string that was hopefully released. Yeah. 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 Okay, ref count 1, num chars allocated. 62. 62 because so we have 124 divided by 2. Huh? Oh. 142, 124 minus 4, right? Oh no, that's actual bytes, right? 128 minus 4, that makes it 124, and then divided by 2, that is 62. Yeah, so this is all looks good to me. M data is 0. Yeah. How about we look at the address once more freshly here. There we go. Okay, let's see if this writes anything. That's a good idea, yeah. Let's see. Okay. So fatal string manager failed to initialize proper. And it didn't write Lee now. How many? So these are the first 4 bytes here. They're reserved. Okay, how many characters are these? Oops. Failed. There we go. 108. 108 characters is 108 bytes is well within the margin. Yeah. It shouldn't crash here. No. Could it be that maybe the blob? I don't know what's tripping up here. So let's see, what can we get here? Memory access. Located by byte region. Allocated by thread. So this is allocate 2.0. Hmm. Eight B0. Let me check that address. 8B0. 8B0. Well, that's not within this range here. 8C. Huh? Oh, this is an old report. Hold on. We need to get the new reports. Yeah. Hold on. You're looking at outdated values. There we go. Yeah, good. So 8B 027cc. Good. So let's take a look at this guy. Output. Nope. Where's memory? Here. Good. So 8B027cc. cc. Right of size 2 at cc. So that would be somewhere cc. Would be somewhere here, yeah. Right of side. Let me look at this. Let's go to cc. Yeah. So that wants to write the L character from the properly. Unknown crash. Right of size 2. Fail to use. Okay, ensure. So 04 partially addressable. Invalid memory access. Looks like it's at the end of the page. Page typically is 4096, maybe 4 kilobytes. Looks like it's the same twice here, the same report. Partially addressable. I don't know what that means. What does partially addressable mean in the ASIN error reports? Memory region where some bytes are valid, allocated, and accessible, but others are invalid, out of bounds. So this claims that this address here, that this shadow byte marks, so CC, is out of bounds. But how is that possible? How is that possible? It would mean that, let me close this here. It would mean that the memory that we are given by this allocator is not what was promised, but it's smaller than what is promised. Could that be? Huh. So it would imply that, that what we allocate here and we ask for actual bytes, that what we get is smaller. Is that possible? Let me go in there. That's the only explanation I have. Otherwise, this makes no sense. Right? I mean, we trust that the allocator gives us enough space, right? But maybe it doesn't. Let's see. It's good that it's easily reproducible. So we can check in here. So we want those num bytes. 128. Good. Find pool for size. Let's look at this function. Num pools, 7 pools. Let's see. Allocation size 16, 32, 64, 128. So it will use this one, a DMA pool 128. Yeah. Oh, this is quite a bit expensive here, isn't it? Oh, it should be okay. It's not many pools here. Okay, this has found a pool now. Number 3 pool. Okay. And this pool looks good. Yeah, 128. It says it's 128. Claims to be. Next pool in factory, 64. Factory, pool name, location. I'm a bit surprised that first blob is fast, last blob. I would have expected a range here. Why is the last blob the same as the first blob? I don't know about that. Let me go to watch this. Pools. Do the same have the other? Have the same? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Looks like first blob is always the last blob. Good. So far, it looks everything fine. Memory pool. Yeah, takes a log. Yeah. And it says it doesn't have first blob with 3 blocks. It has no 3 blocks. Blob. Allocate. Okay, so it allocates freshly. Let's see what it allocates. it doesn't actually allocate. Huh? So here it checked has any free blocks. Ah, if not has any free blocks. I see. So it has free blocks. Yeah, okay. That's fine, that's fine. Good. And then take this block. Yeah. Yeah. And now we own this block. And we better not lose it, right? Yeah. Better not lose it. Okay, so this block we have here now. Get user data. What is this get user data doing? Get user data, no debug. Return. Whoa. Return a pointer to the user data area of the block, the part the end user can deal with. This call does no debug verification and is for internal use of class. No debug verification. Okay. So this size of thingy here, is there anywhere the reverse of that? Yeah, here. Recover block from user data. I see. P user data minus that thing. Okay. Yeah. How big is this block? Oof. It's it's 1, 2, 3. This is a fundamental, so this is 12 bytes. Yeah. This is a fundamental allocation unit. When you allocate via, say, memory pool allocate block, this is what is being allocated for you. Of course, you don't see the private fields. For the most part, we allocate big chunks of these in a monolithic blob and subdivide from there. We occasionally allocate these individual for large blocks. Note also that we directly allocate free these with I never executed, nor what virtual functions work. It's a little evil. Okay, so the problem I'm seeing here right now, let's say this block is part of the 128 bytes that we have requested. So this one actually gives us 12 bytes less than 128. Is that possible? So we requested 128. We subtract 12 bytes. So we have 116 bytes. And that is less than we need because we need 100. How much do we need? 124, right? 124? Something like that. Let me see. How much do we need? We We need 118. So we need 2 bytes more. We need 2 bytes more than the space of that thing, which actually also coincides with the last 2 characters from what we've seen here with the bit.ly, right? Yeah. So fatal properly, so 2 characters, which is, well, it's 4 bytes. It's more. And then maybe also the null terminator. Yeah, hold on, 12 bytes, min bytes. Hold on, so request 120, we want 128, we want 128, and we get only 116. We need 118, but we get 16. 116. I mean, it looks like somewhere in this area, but I'm not sure. Like, it could be. This is 108. 108. 108 plus 12 is 116. Yeah, actually, it totally aligns. It totally aligns. If you add. No, it doesn't. It doesn't align. 12. Because then if you add 12 to this, it's 120. Okay, but it looks like it's somewhere in this direction. Somewhere in this direction. Okay, so let's look at this closely. Let's see where these guys are allocated. How about that? These memory pool blobs. Let's search for DMA pool 128. Let's see how this guy is created. There we go. Let's search for default DMA. Let's search for p-params. Create memory pools. There we go. Create memory pools. Create memory pool. There we go. Good. Pool. Okay. Where do we create it? Sysalloc init pool. Pool. But it only creates one here. Create memory pool. Create memory pool. Hold on. There's a loop. Okay, num pools. Okay, so for everyone, it creates this thing. Okay, how about we put a breakpoint in here? There we go. Put a breakpoint there. How about we put a pragma optimize off here? There we go. Put it right up here. There we go. Good. There we go. Good. So we're looking for pool number 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Number 3. Good. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Pool number 3. Let's jump in this guy and source link authentication fail. What is this? Why is this happening? Huh? Huh? Is this inlined or what is happening here? Huh? Let's put a breakpoint in here. I have no idea what's going on there. Maybe can we maybe tell it to not step into code that authenticate? What? Can we opt out of this? Source link error. Visual Studio, do not step in code with no CPP. Let me ask ChatGPT. Is there a way in Visual Studio 2010? Is there a way to not step into code that we do not have a CPP for in Visual Studio? Yes. Step into just my code. Go to tools, options, debugging, general, enable just my code. Enable just my code. Enable just my code. Enable just my code. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Because this is really annoying here. Good, so. It's still, man. Enable, manage, man. Tools, options. Man. Enable just my code. Maybe it needs a restart. Okay, how about we restart? Maybe that fixes it. Visual Studio. Yeah, Visual Studio takes a very long time. Oof. It just says, warning, this publisher is unverified. VS Code. That's all I'm asking for. Good. Let's go with opening a solution. Oh man. Oh man. Good. So, create memory pool. Let's see. Hopefully we can properly step into this function. Basically, we just want to step into this function, but not into the address sanitizer. Let's see. And it's still broken. Yeah, I don't know how to solve that, but okay. Okay, so create memory pool. Let's see. Find memory pool. It won't find it, yeah. Allocate memory pool. So this is a placement new, right? Yeah. Where's this pool? Huh? Huh? Ah, right. So it allocates and then constructs. Okay, I see. This is allocate size of memory pool. How big is this memory pool? Okay. All right. All right. Memory pool blob. That's kind of wasteful, isn't it? That every memory pool single block. Wow, no way. This is really, well, how big is this? First rate block. Can we see where this guy is being allocated? Here, allocate single block. Where's this guy being allocated? I don't fully understand yet what this single block even is. Where's the new call to it? Not seeing it. Must be in here. Yeah, okay, we have already seen this. Get next tree. Okay, but it must have allocated this somewhere already. Get next free block. Next block. Allocate single block. But that doesn't allocate here. Where is this allocating? Get user data. Single block. This I find really, really suspicious here. Really suspicious. Return a pointer to the user data area of the block. The part the end user can deal with. But how is this possible? You have 12 bytes that describe this block for every single thing. So if you have a memory pool with a 16 bytes, then there will be 12 bytes that are just used to describe this block. That's outrageous. Nah, that can't be. I must be understanding this incorrectly. That can't be. But on the other hand, nothing should surprise us here in this code. Man, this is some end boss level thing here. We need to get some good understanding of this block thingy. Yeah. So that was the description. This is a fundamental allocation unit. When you allocate via, say, memory pool allocate block, this is what is being allocated for you. Of course, you don't see the private fields. For the most part, we allocate big chunks of these big chunks in a monolithic blob and subdivide from there. However, we occasionally allocate these individually for large blocks. Note also that we directly allocate free these with sys allocate sys free. So constructors detours are never executed, nor would virtual functions work. There's a bunch of debug here, which we could use. Debug. By the way, we already have debug with address sanitizer, and it tells us something is wrong here. I still haven't seen yet where this is allocated. Here we have something. Hold on. Raw block size. Raw allocate single block. Can we put a breakpoint in here? Okay. Logical size. Okay, that's a huge thingy. Allocate, do not zero. Let's see. Round up. This allocate, do not zero. Global allocate. Okay, so 16 kilobyte block will be allocated. Okay. Okay, so this actually carries much more than I thought it would. Okay, then it's fine. Init block. Okay. Okay. Okay, so these blocks are really big. All right, that's fair. That's fair. But then okay, but then how does this work here? Get user data. How does that work? It's creates another memory pool. And another one. Okay. Let me put a breakpoint again here. Poof. 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 Yo. Good. So it will find the block here, right? There we go. We have a block. So we have a block now here. It does have a next block. Good. Then now what? I still don't understand this. Ah, come on. Block. Okay. So we have results. Oh, this one is passed this time. Okay, so there is some randomness. Ah, that's an ASCII string. Hold on. That's an ASCII string. Where's the Unicode thingy? Allocate block. Yeah, Allocate single block. But it can't be 16 kilobytes large. Because then if we made a request here for 128, what am I missing here? Let's get back to this guy. It makes no sense to me. So what we're seeing here is that apparently there is less space. There is less space in this blob, in this block, than what we need, right? That's the issue, right? Yeah. Crash. Yeah. Good. Let's look at this. Let's look at this memory pool block. Which we now don't no longer see. Memory pool single block. There we go. Good. So this guy. Init blob. Let's put a breakpoint here again. Man. We need to, we first need to get a full understanding of how this memory manager works. So this owning pool is a DMA pool 16. 32, 64, 128. Okay. So 128. Let's see, what does this guy do? Get allocation size, 128. Good, makes sense. Next, 128. Okay, so raw block size is 140. 128 plus 12 is 140. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Raw block size. Oh, then that's really wasteful, especially for the pool with the 16. So there's 16 usable bytes, but it allocates 12 bytes to manage those 16 bytes for each. Nah. This is even worse on 64-bit. because then it will be twice the size, 24 bytes just to manage those 16 bytes. Yeah, that's outrageous. Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. Yeah. So okay, so it allocates this times total blocks in blob. Okay, so it allocates everything, and then every block will have this header. Yeah. Let me look into this once more. Yeah, round up, and then plus the size. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. This makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I wonder, is this pref actually used? This here. Remove block. Because maybe it should just have one pointer for the next block. Realistically, I don't understand why it needs owning blob. To give back, I guess. Yeah. It's really wasteful. I don't like it. Okay, how about we take a break because I'm a bit tired already. It has been 2 hours 40. Yeah. Let's take a break here and continue looking a bit in the next session. Yeah. There seems to be some problem. I'm not seeing what it is. But I'm astonished by how inefficiently the memory is used for this pool, especially the small one. For the bigger ones, probably less of a concern, but the small ones, the 16-byte pool, outrageous. That's outrageous. All right.